W.C. Fields said, "Don't work with animals and kids." I think he was joking. But, you know, I've heard Spielberg, I think, said that too, you know, especially in your first movie. Animals, kids, and a period setting, we did all three. Because we're up to the challenge. The idea for Witchfinder, I mean, I started writing it, I think, in 2011, just come off of Raven's Hollow. I wanted to just try to make an actual scary horror film. So that was where it started, and then I was, you know, going through my mind of stuff that, you know, scared me as a kid. Mario Bava movies, you know, Black Sunday, you know, especially, and Black Sabbath, you know, even stuff from the 80s like Warlock, you know. And Pumpkinhead even figured in there a little bit. So yeah, I think that was the genesis. This is a effects mask test with the bleeding effect, and go. Well, once we settled on the idea that, you know, we were actually going to try and do Witchfinder, you know, it was like, why can't you do it? Well, let's go find out, you know, how feasible it is. And we found, you know, these locations. But I mean, this was over the course of a year, I think, of pre-production. I mean, the movie's only like 18 minutes long, but we spent like a year, you know, trying to plan it out. And you have to plan out, you know, what your shots are going to be.
Agioso Baphomet, Agioso Astrath, Agioso Satanis, Binanat Gawath Manvene, Omnipotus Asterath Diabolus. Bang, 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 bang.
Abigail Prynne, you're under arrest for the crimes of witchcraft.
You have to build costumes. We had Alicia Tyler designed and built all of our costumes from scratch, and, you know, all that stuff takes time. My wife, Arian, she did all the props. I mean, she had to build, you know, a lot of props that we used, little decorations. I mean, like, it was amazing the amount of stuff that she generated. And Brent Jepson, the director of photography, now, you know, we would meet at least once a week to do just lighting tests.
This is ISO at 500. F-stop is 2.8. Shutter speed is 30. This is 100 ISO. Shutter speed 125.
You rolling?
Ready, yep. Shutter speed 500 ISO.
Well, the cloth would.
But I think it looks good, you know, now, you know, at the end of it, I think it, you know, all that work paid off. I want to say we did a casting call in March of 2012. You know, we rented a space at the public library, and that was my first experience, you know, in that situation. It was just kind of interesting to see, you know, the amount of talent that would walk through the door and do these amazing things, you know, for you right there. And then it's just sitting down and kind of obsessively watching all of that material later, saying like, okay, if they were in this scene and they were wearing this makeup, you know, is this going to be the character that I was hoping in my mind? Sometimes you get surprised, you know. I mean, you go in looking for specifically, you know, it's like, who's the closest to what I had in my mind, or this person did it in a way that I didn't even expect, and that was awesome. It was like, you know, this is, we have to explore more. But I think it's a combination of probably those two things at the foremost, you know, is what determines who you're going to choose to be in the project. Action, Rob. So the first day we loaded up a van full of camera equipment and props and ladders and all sorts of awesomeness, and drove out to our location in Cherry Valley, where the cabin's located right on the main street there. But right behind the cabin, you know, are these big fir trees. So I mean, it kind of gives the impression that you're in the woods if you shoot it from just the right angle. And that's where we did the interior and exterior of the witch's cabin. So we got that place set up in a couple hours, and then we ended up, you know, shooting in there for most of the day. I think we were there until maybe like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. But the cars, the traffic would keep going all day and all night, and it was one of those things where you just kind of figured that we'll shoot these scenes where the cabin door is open. You have to be able to see darkness outside, or you have to have the camera outside. And no matter what we did, it just seemed like we'd be in the middle of this a dialogue scene, and at the same time in the when they reach the actors would reach the same part in the dialogue, a car would come by. Like every single time. I think it took us like 8 takes.
Such glamours require a trade in coin, and perhaps a heavier price. Can you pay?
See, that's all fucking asshole.
Fuck you.
I think on day one also there was, while we were setting up shots, the guys that we had playing the hooded guys who come in and arrest the witch, Blake's witch hunters, they were having some fun. I think they would stand as a group out on the street in full costume with the hoods on, and they just kind of, as cars would go by, they'd turn and watch them. I didn't get to see that, but I heard it was going on. And
turn. Didn't even slow down.
How has the first day of shooting gone?
Not bad, actually, considering it's very cold. And we've got sirens going off all over the place. We're like, wow, this entire town must be on fire.
I don't know, it was an air raid siren went off. It's probably a storm warning siren or something. They went off in the morning, and then they went off again at night, and it was just, like right while you're shooting, and you're like, what in the heck is this? But I mean, nothing against the village of Cherry Valley. I mean, they were extremely cooperative, and we were fortunate just to be shooting there, but the challenges of shooting an independent movie on location. This is behind the scenes on Witchfinder Day 2. Welcome to Witchville. Right, well, day 2 we were out at the Mactown Forest Preserve in Roscoe, Illinois, and we had a horse trainer. We were able to get an actual Parisian horse, so Blake could ride this thing around on the grounds of the Forest Preserve there, and we got some really nice shots.
Okay, Dave, you can go whenever you're ready.
Give him a little kick, too.
And the cool thing with Dave is he's got some friends who had horses, so he was able to go out and kind of get acclimated. But it's one of those things, you just burn time trying to get a horse to hit a certain mark.
Can I hand the horse to Gary?
Well, I'll be out of the picture, and I'll just actually, if you want, just drop the reins and let him lean his head down and eat. He should stand right there.
Okay, so I just get off and that's it, right?
Yeah.
They got the electrical box in the car there, so she'll have to put up.
Hello.
Just kind of act like, oh, happy, I see Daddy. Run to the door and knock on it. Actually, you can do that right now if you want. And say like, Mama, Mama. Okay. Then Mama comes out. All right. Okay, Dave, whenever you're ready.
Give it a shot.
Oh, look at this. This is back in the day when you were comfortable with your child playing outside by.
Okay, Chloe. Go get Mom. And cut. I think we actually got it.
I like that timing much better.
Awesome. Uh-oh.
Done with the horse riding. No injuries.
No injuries,
That's good.
but a lot of urine.
That's true.
At night, we moved inside another building that was doubling as the as Blake's house, and the inside of that building. I mean, it's just like the Myers house from Halloween. It's got like the same floor plan, which was kind of interesting. And then we lit it all blue, so you know, with the blue moonlight. So it's like could have done Halloween.
This is the creepy ass picture of the lady who lived here.
We can walk in everything, or
Yeah. That's Mary Mac. That might be Miss Mary Mac.
Really?
I don't know. I'm gonna check into that. No, that actually scares me a lot.
You're like, oh, doing some weird little chant trying to summon her spirit.
What is this?
One of those hand clapping games. Miss Mary Mac.
You're trying to summon her undead spirit.
Is it about her?
No, I just googled it. It has nothing to do with her, but it's still creepy that it is her.
Fucking, I'm
That's
out
funny.
of here, man. You're fucking summon her.
Sean, do you want to do it? Here,
I'm good.
I'll make Chloe do it.
Thanks, though.
Chloe's cool. She'll do it. Jump over the fence. It jumps so high.
So you're
It's
fearful
the
that you're gonna
sky,
both of
sky,
elephant?
and then come back to
Hey, I don't know what's gonna go on, but
Fly.
I'm just saying.
Whoa. Nice timing.
Whoa. We made the lights go off. I'm done with that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The door opens. You rang.
I'm afraid that something's gonna, like, when I'm in my death scene, that some spirit's gonna come into me.
It's a possibility.
Freaking me out. Channeling some Mac relative that is taking this opportunity for this to happen.
Make sure that we're the correct shade of blue. I was wondering if you can do two different types of like breathing.
But don't hyperventilate,
Yeah.
because that would be bad.
Oh, I think that one's creepy.
Yeah, that one is.
Yeah.
46, take 1.
Okay, and action whenever you're ready, dude.
Mary, my child, what's wrong? Breathe, 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 my child.
Cut.
Here, I was doing that.
Yeah, but you don't have these sexy things at home.
Who's on the opposite side of the camera? Oh.
And action. Fantastic. Cut.
It bubbled!
Time
No,
you've-
I don't want to watch it.
No?
This is about the 4th time you've died tonight.
Oh. Gather around.
Did it really bubble, or did it just sound like it was bubbling?
Sound.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
Day 2 was long because we started. Well, day 1 we started at 7, right, and finished maybe at midnight, and then we had. That was Monday. Tuesday we had off, so that was basically just coming back, reloading everything, and then we had to go pick everything up, then swap it all out for the next day. We came back on Thursday, so that would be day 3. And that one went, I think, until about 4 o'clock in the morning. That one went a lot longer than we expected.
Versus, this is what I was curious about. Is it like
On my face. While I'm sleeping. However, he's now getting ready to fall asleep. I won't use a dry erase. I'll use a Sharpie.
Have you ever been a time that
I'll just film it and
someone
laugh.
said to a guy,
Two of the ladies who worked there, like, you know, stayed there the whole night, you know, with us 2 nights in a row. I mean, you know, so we put them in the movie. There is some specters in the void sequence. And yeah, they seem to get a big kick out of that.
Day 3. Buddy.
Hello. Hi.
All right, so what are we doing right now?
We are doing the dead witch look. I've got the latex on the face and peeled, as you can see. Now we are making her skin nice and bright white. And then I'm gonna hollow out the holes, because you know she was impaled with the mask, so
Right.
she's got lots of little facial holes. So we'll make those a little more obvious from the white.
Just get them starting to disconnect from your skin.
Here, let me get you.
Hi. We're just keeping her witchy.
Yep, keeping me witchy.
Keeping her dead.
Keeping my hair from sticking to all the stuff on my face.
Oops. Does she look creepy, Tom?
Yeah.
Tom's the one to ask. Tom, what are your thoughts?
Because I'm very, very nearsighted, my focus is about here, and I didn't know there was anyone over there.
Yeah. They're scared
You scared the witch.
I scared the witch.
The dead witch.
I scared the witch, doctor.
Okay, go ahead.
74, take 1.
Okay, and now Valerie, if you can turn sideways and just peer down at her. Okay, Brent, how wide is this? Like super wide?
It is good and wide. It's as wide as I can go.
Okay.
Rolling.
Okay, Tom?
78, take 1.
Okay, and action.
No! 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 No!
Day 4, we went on to a private residence in Oregon, Illinois. Guy's got a big wooded lot there. That was a big production. I mean, it was, you know, kind of cool. We had, you know, like a craft services table. We had a tent. You know, we had a generator running out there to run our lights, you know, because we put moonlight, you know, we basically, it was a 20-foot extension ladder leaned up against an A-frame ladder, you know, with sandbags on the end of it. And then, I don't know, like how many, you know, like clip lights we had clipped to the top of that thing. Cables running all over the place. And, yeah, that was just, it was something else. I mean, because outside of our little, you know, lighted area, it was black woods. I mean, it was just absolute pitch black darkness.
Tonight, this is the exciting conclusion to Witchfinder. This is going to end up with a witch barbecue.
Ooh. So, you're on fire patrol?
Yes, I am torch wrangler and fire patrol. We have our fire extinguishers. We have kitty litter to put them out. We have water to put them out.
Inflated? Yeah.
I can only send my head so far because there's tubing up the back of it.
Cool.
That's fine right there.
One more.
We hung a dummy of Travis Worthy, our actor playing John Hawthorne. And I mean, that thing just looked like, you know, whenever you look over at it, it was like, there's a dude hanging there.
Creepy.
And the dummy of the witch, which, you know, I mean, when you see, you know, once she's got that mask on with the wig and all that in the costume, it's like you can't tell the difference between that and a living person.
I ended up making 4 versions of these masks. This is the one that has a padded backing on it. This is the one that went on the actress's face. And this is the one that when the hammer was used, the padding was in there so that he could actually touch the hammer to her face without hurting her. This is the special effects mask. Front looks the same. The back is where all the good stuff happens. Again, this goes over the actor's face. That's what these straps are for. We just used plain clear tubing to go for the eye holes and the mouth hole. And then you connect the tubes all the way into this bottle, which is nothing more than an old Welch's juice bottle. We put a hole into the bottom, which is where the blood would come out and go into the mask. This was what we connected to a foot pump so that we could pump air into it, which would put pressure into the hose, make the blood come out.
Okay, start pumping, Aaron.
Go back.
And wait.
And then, you know, when you burn it, we were concerned because, you know, it's like, you know, if something goes wrong, you know, what are you going to do? We didn't even have a backup dummy, so I mean, if that would have gone south, that would have been, you know, a problem. And then when we lit it, you know, you're looking at all these embers flying around and hoping that you don't, you know, catch something on fire. Brent and I had gone out like a month beforehand and prepared that. We met with like the fire marshals to make sure that this was, we're going to light the whole, you know, forest on fire.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, jump back, Brent. Beaver rail, step back.
Hurry.
That's creepy.
Yep. Pizza. Should we push it and see if I stick my arms up?
If you want, yeah, go ahead. I think the arm's gonna... Okay, let's try.
Yay!
I think it looks, you know, really impressive. I've never burned a witch before, but that was, there's something primal about, you know, carrying torches around in the dark and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I guess that's why you want to do the movie, you know, you're trying to do those scenes and have, you know, that memory of being there and doing it. And that was a lot of fun.
Brandon, what about this one?
Perfect.
This is actually the first movie that I've ever done the music to. Well, we didn't really want to have anything that overpowered anything else in the movie. We wanted the music to kind of play very well to the inherent creepiness that already existed from the shots and the acting and the sound effects. We didn't want to overpower anything.
I think first it's Brandon and I finding musical moments and trying not to step on sound effects, trying not to step on dialogue.
I don't mind that right there. That way, once
he's honk on the.
Because then he's serious right there. You know what I mean?
And finding what's going to raise the tension as opposed to squash it.
We used a glockenspiel. We used a cello, an out-of-tune piano. We did some interesting things. We bowed the keys on the glockenspiel and things like that. Just kind of creative ways to make creepy noises.
This is a studio that I've been working out of this particular building for the last 4.5, 5 years. Brandon and I have worked together quite a lot on his records and my own. So we've been working together for the better part of 3 of those years. So we're very comfortable working together and working here. It's just made for an easy experience. Just kind of mess around with 6-note themes with your friends. Make it as creepy as possible.
Something like that. We did the melodies originally on the glockenspiel with the mallets. And then we thought it'd be a good idea to it was actually Mark's idea to bow the keys and the glockenspiel as well, to kind of create a more airy, atmospheric noise with the same instrument.
One sounds like something that would be over the, almost like the metal is grinding. We're both lead singers of our own bands. We can't help but write melodies. So we wrote a couple of themes, and they have to play off of each other. And since it's horror, we like it to maybe not play very well together, which will add to the kind of queasy or gross or built tension feel to it. It's not a sunny melody. And if it's a sunny melody, there's something horrible going on underneath it.
Yeah, I would say for a first-time experience, everything exceeded my expectations. The actors were uniformly gave better performances than I expected. Working with people who are, just contributing their time, for love of doing it. And I still think that the, talent on display, could rival, any, working, actor. I think that the photography looks very cinematic, and the lighting, I think we achieved like a movie look. I think that's hard to do, but it takes a lot of time investment. But I think, that exceeded my expectation. The props, my wife, just kind of went off and made like a ton of stuff. And when it all gets put in there, you're like, I'm just amazed at all the detail, that the world that you've created now has, like all this texture and, all this detail to it. And the costumes, I thought, those all look fantastic, on camera. They're like, this looks like I think it looks like we spent more on this movie than we actually did.
Yeah, I'll stand here if you guys want to start breaking down. And then once we're done getting stuff ready to move, that'll have died down enough where we can probably get most of it in. Okay. You just keep an eye on it?
Yeah, I'll stay over. Not to be all unceremonious about it, but I got an hour-and-a-half drive. So thank you, everybody.
Gotcha.
Thanks again. Thank you. It was awesome. I can't wait to see it.